Hi, Penny. How you doing? How's it going? How's the niece doing? Good. Hey, Amanda. How are you? Still home? Wow. Thought I'd drink my coffee. I got up a little later today. Anybody got allergies this time of year? I sure do. Oh, okay. Good luck to her. I thought I uploaded a couple other videos, but I had them on private. What happens is when you first upload a video, it's in standard definition. In 4K looks so much better. But most of the time I'm so excited to get it uploaded. I want people to see it as soon as I can. But it's really better if they see it in 4K. So I thought I made them public, but I guess I didn't, because when I looked on here, they were still hidden, so I just published them. I mean, not believe me, I know these aren't popular videos, but I like doing them. I'm doing one right now. I just love, like, scenic areas where it's like you can see a long way, or it's birds singing or whatever. Oh, good, Amanda. This is, to me, I mean, I've been a lot of places, and this is a great view all year long. It's got it all. Farms, rural, countryside, expressway going through the middle, wildlife everywhere, see forever. Right here you can see about 10 miles, which in this area of the country is pretty good. Daisy's got a chewy. Yeah, it's nice. That one that I uploaded yesterday, one of them, it's a place where a lot of animals cut through, but it wasn't it was a bad time. It was daytime, so all I got is birds singing, but that's fine with me. You can see over there where they've only cut part of that corn. What usually causes that is a brief shot of rain, and they just cut into where it gets too damp, and then they just quit cutting and let it dry out and hope that we don't get any more rain. We got nailed last week with a bunch of rain, so the fields were soft. That's another issue. I mean, I know a little bit about farming, but now that I've lived up here, I know a lot more, even though I would say that I don't know much overall. But I'm telling you, I'm surprised they're not all alcoholics. It's constant worry. First of all, they can't get help. The government has them by the balls, and they're too old and in too deep to change careers. Then you got weather you're always worrying about. And then you got the new government administration, how they're going to handle and trade grains and stuff like that. It's just a constant mess. I mean, for the 10 minutes they get when they get up in the morning in the sunrise looking out how beautiful is the property they own, the rest of it's like pure stress. And, you know, this isn't like the old days where you wanted to get into farming and you worked hard and you put a down payment and off that you went. Now it's if you don't inherit it or you don't have a trust fund, you can forget it. Even in a place like this, farmland's about $4,000 an acre. As you move further south, where the growing seasons are longer, it's 10 grand, 15 grand an acre. Now I know a guy that's got 1,000 acres in Cawcolin. He said the net profit's about $200 an acre when it's all said and done. So it's not like, you know, why would you, if you had that kind of money to buy a farm, why would you do it? Just put it in the bank and do nothing. I mean, everything is so upside down, including owning a vehicle. Hey, John. I'm getting all this surveillance stuff taken out of this van. I've got a propane heater so you can run it without the engine running, but it takes up too much space. I'm going to start doing more mountain biking. It's just a pain in the ass putting it in the side door. So I'm going to get everything taken out of the back, just one big flat rubber mat. But people see the romantic side of farming, not the reality of it. I'm going to paint a little more today. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. Yeah, I do. Yep, I do. The big deal on that of course, is eyes. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it'll be all right. Yep, but the eyes, big time. Hey, Stephanie. You know, this new GoPro camera's not turning out too good. GoPro's had this happen before. They've been great to deal with, in my experience. You know, all I have is two GoPro cameras, but they're nines. And if you look at their history, I mean, they came out, they were great. Then they came out with two models in a row that were just terrible, damn near put them out of business. Then they came out with a drone that was a flop. Then they had the 7 and 8, which were better. And then the 9, the one I had a 5, used it twice and gave it away. Is an excellent camera. I actually bought a second one about a month ago. But the 10 is like fraught with problems. It's overheating on modes other than 5.3, which is a nightmare for them. You know, like I set my cameras out and I come back later and the battery's dead or whatever. But even at 4K, I can get an hour and a half on a cool day on a GoPro 9. It doesn't look like you can even do that on 1080p on the new one, so they got to be pulling their hair out at world headquarters. Yeah, you're right, McCall. Yeah. Simca's good. They bought a house. That's the issue. They bought a house in North Carolina, taking all their time. Oh yeah, you're fine. You don't have anything to worry about. Nope, nothing. There's a lot of like weird things where it's hard to go like for uh, immediate help on things. I'll give you an example. Getting bit by Michigan's only poisonous rattlesnake, Mississauga rattler. They were on the endangered species list. And they took them off. Now they're threatened again, I think. I've never seen one my whole life. There's only certain places where they're at. It's a gorgeous looking snake. But I'm sure it's more now than it used to be. But there are some of them that crawl around Ann Arbor, and in the springtime, the college kids go out there, and despite signs all over, do not walk barefooted, they do, and they get bit. And I know 10 years ago, now you're not going to die probably from a Mississauga rattlesnake bite. Like anything, it depends where they get you. Same with a dog in the field when they're hunting. But I can tell you this, 10 years ago, a trip to the hospital, get treated, it's $140,000. And I'm sure it's more now because there's an issue now with the anti-venom for Mississauga rattlers. I get the impression they used what they had, and there wasn't enough money into someone to make it again. So they basically have to use a hybrid, which I'm assuming isn't going to work as good, or they wouldn't be bringing this up to begin with. But I'll bet you right now, if you were down there frolicking in the springtime grass and you stepped on a Mississauga rattler, by the way, they do everything they can to get the hell away from you. It could easily be a $200,000 bill. No kidding. Yeah, you know, it's funny how if you look at where those are, if you look at their ranges, there's a lot of them down around White Lake Township. Obviously, there's some in Ann Arbor. And there's some in some other places. It's surprising. There's some up actually around Mackinac County. They're like all over, but I've never seen one. But I can tell you this, and I've told you this before. You know, you get the $100,000 helicopter ride. If you got bit by one of those, if one got around here some way, you've got a big problem. I'm pretty sure that's going to get you the $100,000 helicopter flight, because I'll bet you they don't have any anti-venom here for a Mississauga rattler. And I'll bet you're going to go to Ann Arbor, the same place the other people got bit. And I'll bet it's 200 grand now. So is it worth $300,000 not to step on a snake? Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Amber. Yeah, that's right, Amber. Amber, did you ever catch that part where I told you I had a good photo I think you'd like? Did you ever catch that? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a possibility. I mean, they're always finding things. I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a Galapagos gull, about 3 weeks ago over in East Taos, over at that Taos Point State Park. And there was people talking about it, and they wanted to know, you know, how come it's 3 times bigger? And that bird was actually a little east than it should have been, but it happens, and it was definitely a glaucous gull. So it does, things like this do occur. Yeah, hey Jeff, I've got a photograph for you that you can hang on your wall. It's all museum glass frame, the whole bit. I said it one day when you were on the chat, but you might not have caught it. You'll be able to just hang it right on your wall. Wow. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. You can look this up. It was the convict ship Success. Look up convict ship Success. And it's parked down there in the Ohio River in downtown Cincinnati in 1891. It's a gorgeous shot. It's all museum framed. It's beautiful. I could tell you this, I paid $1,500 for the photo 20 years ago. That's before it was framed. Now you'll see. You want to see some eagles? Go over to the Fermi plant in Monroe. Go over to the Fermi plant. They're all over. They're flying around. Yeah, I've gotten lucky. I've seen more eagles in the last year than I saw in my whole lifetime. Yeah, it's called the Convict Ship Success. Yeah, Convict Ship Success. It's got an interesting history. It did float around people that were too dangerous to put in prisons for years, but it was also kind of a marketing scam. But, you know, this looks like something you'd sing Captain Crunch on in a cereal box for real. It's a fantastic photograph. No, I didn't post. I'll take a photo of it. Email. I know you have my email, don't you? Send me an email. I'll take a picture of it later and send it to you. It's gorgeous. I mean, you can, it's a, you sent, I'll tell you, I decided when I was in a nut house that I wasn't going to collect things anymore, that it just took up too much time. It was a facet of obsessive compulsive behavior, and I was done with it. My whole life revolved around collecting things, just like a kook. And what I did is I sold most of it. And the things that I didn't sell, that I just really couldn't part with for money, I gave to friends. And I have a few of those things. And I remember you sent me $100 a long time ago when it didn't look like I was ever going to get a penny from YouTube. And it was just from your heart and a goodwill gesture for what you thought I was doing. And I remembered that. So I appreciate it. And I think it's something you'd really like. And even if it doesn't fit your decor and you don't like it, I guarantee you that one of those museums in Cincinnati would love it, because it's a large format photograph, an original, and I've never seen one that size anywhere. Oh, okay, Michael. Now, I'm from Flat Rock. You probably know that already. Yeah, I like good scotch. I do. I see Ardbeg's got a mix now that's the same price, about $60. It's got sherry and brandy and the Ardbeg 10 in it. They had one bottle of it the other day at the meat market. But I like Ardbeg 10 so much. I don't mind experimenting like I did with that bottle or whatever the hell it was the other day. But by and large, I know that it probably isn't going to be as good as what I know I already like. So there's nothing worse than getting an experiment and not liking it and wish you would have bought the one that you love. Hey, Pug, how you doing? I'm pretty sure the convict ship went down through the Detroit River at one time. I mean, they toured the thing all over. If you Google it, you'll find it in Wikipedia. I've got a couple books on it as well. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Faye. Oh, good, Jeff. Yeah, beautiful day here as well. Of course, I'm knocking out some scenic video. You wouldn't believe the shitty emails I get from people. They say they're not watching my channel anymore because all I do is record sounds of birds and clouds. That's not all I do, but it's a lot of what I do. Yeah, believe me, I'm getting books all the time. I did get a couple new ones, nothing great, but I'm about 75% done with my room rehab. I'll get the shelves in next, and then you'll really see all my books. I'll have a nice, organized place to keep them. And looking forward to it, having it organized. And yeah, it's a super interesting history on that. The convict ship success. But it was part real, part scam. But it was a hell of a draw. When you sailed that thing into anywhere, people were waiting in line to get on it and get a tour of it. Oh, thanks, Jeff. But you get YouTube's been pissing me off lately. There's nothing I can do about it. You know that they don't even want you making any reference anymore to drugs, even if the drugs are legal. If I did a video and it's like I'm interviewing you, Jeff, and I say, hey, I know you've had some problems with depression. Have you decided on some Prozac? And you said, yeah, I take Prozac. I will get the yellow dollar sign, which effectively takes all the money out of any reimbursement you're going to get. Now, look, I did this and it wasn't for money. But if there's a difference in between getting some and not, I'd rather get it. Now, what YouTube will tell you is like, well, don't worry about it. It's still going to allow premium members to access that video. Yeah, you know how many members there are in the premium members? 20 million is nothing. It's hard enough to get anybody to watch a video when it's open to the whole world. So I'm really in kind of like, and they're going retroactive. On those interviews that you saw where I interviewed the homeless people, all the people that made a reference to drugs that they used to be on, they're not even on them anymore. One lady mentioned going to the needle exchange. All those got the yellow $, which effectively just cancels your money. So I emailed back and forth and chatted, and I'm just kind of like, fuck it. I'll just do sound videos of birds singing and fish migrating. I'm not going to jump through any hoops. They don't even want you doing it if it's in the midst of kind of like finding out how a homeless person got where they are, why they're there, what they're trying to change. They don't want one word of drugs mentioned. No, there's a big Wikipedia on it, convict ship. I've looked it up before. Put the whole word in. Convict ship success. Convict ship success. Oh, good for you, Pug. Yeah, they do mention it, but I'm telling you, you see, that's the thing. That's why when people, they're doing it more and more and more. Basically, I mean, they've killed my main go-to YouTube content. No, it's getting worse and worse. So, and here's what happens is the only reason I ended up with 185,000 or 184,000 subscribers is pure luck. In translating that, what luck means is YouTube recommended my videos. So when you'd sign on to YouTube and you were up there surfing around, it's like, you may want to watch this, and you'd watch my video. Well, they quit doing that. And I think they quit doing it because of the content. Now, in fairness to YouTube, they're never going to tell me this, but I think what happens is if you don't want your Bible camp reservation coming up in the middle of an interview with a prostitute that's on heroin. I get that. So when the whole platform was designed, they were just looking at the time of things being popular and interesting that people would go to. And of course, you knew you weren't going to have a Hell's Angel Fest on there. You knew what that would bring in. But you would think that there'd just be a genuine, innocent interest in homeless people and working girls. And there was for a long time. Well, I'm just guessing, and I don't know this for sure, I think that there's a chance that they may have gotten too many complaints from people that are paying for digital advertising. And rather than the onus put on them, they put it on guys like me. It's like, hey, we don't want any conversation about any drugs anymore, good or bad, even in the midst of a documentary type interview. Okay, I get it. And part of that is not recommending guys like me to people that may have an interest in them, no matter what the reason. And, you got to bite the leather strap, but it is their platform, and what are you going to do? Hey, Philip. Hey, Lisa. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, people say that I don't really care about that much, to be honest with you. Like I said, if I know what makes money on YouTube, and I don't chase it at all. But it is nice if you do get your expenses paid. And here, they promoted me for 10 years, and now they don't, which, it's not that big a deal, but it is annoying because, it's like they created this Frankenstein. Now you're saying it's my fault. It just, here's what it does. It takes the fun out of it. Hey, Meat Candy. Yeah, it takes the fun out of it. It's like, be like going and interviewing a Vietnam veteran and, telling him ahead of time that he can't talk about guns and bombs and people dying and napalm. Before you know it, the interview gets so sterilized, what's the use of asking many questions to begin with? And that's kind of where I'm at. Well, that's another weird thing. I mean, you'll spend the rest of your life deciphering this convict ship. As it turns out, there were a few of them, and some were part refurbished, some were not, that kind of thing. So there were some imposter convict ships out there, that kind of thing. So deciphering which one was which, when you see this photo, it'll help you. But even then, there's things like this in history. Yeah, that's about it. Hey, Pug. Yeah, oh, there's lots of weirdos, that's for sure. And I mean, I never planned on anybody watching my videos anyway. You know, just like these scenic videos and bird singing, that kind of stuff. That would be like all of a sudden one day somebody liking him and a million people watch it. Well, here's another thing. You know, everybody looks at this Social Blade. Social Blade doesn't know when you get the yellow dollar sign, which means effectively it takes all the money out of it. Think of it, the difference between the whole world having an access on your YouTube video. There's only 20 million premium subscribers. That's nothing. It is nothing. So when you get the yellow dollar sign, that's what happens. Those are the only people that are going to get access to that video for any revenue. So it takes, I've always said, a good rule of thumb, $3.25 per thousand views. That's per thousand views. Look at my videos. I mean, most of them I don't make a quarter on. $3.25, and that's if your June Lockhart is making brownies. Now, where you get into what I'm doing and you bring up drugs, it goes down to 19 cents per thousand views. It's nothing, zero, and that's on a good day. Yeah, you're right, Philip. Hey, Train. What I will say Social Blade is accurate about is subscribers, but only to when, if you hide your subscribers, I just found this out the other day, they only have what was public before you hit it. So you could lose them, you could gain them, and there's a possibility that could be wrong. Subscribers don't mean anything. Subscribers, it's like anything. Everybody wants to grade your YouTube success at how many subscribers you have. It doesn't mean shit. Zero, nothing. Now, there is a relationship between subscribers and views, but it's slight. It's vague. It's not definite. You could be killing it and have 3 subscribers. You could have 1 million subscribers and not make $1 a month. You got to have 1,000. I just was talking to somebody on the phone about that last night. As it turns out, on the community page, you need 1,000. What they did, they went to this 1,000 subscriber requirement with 4,000 viewing hours. Now, when I got it, I didn't even give a shit about it. If you can tell, I don't use that community page very much. I thought it just came with YouTube, but as it turns out, that's part of the 1,000 subscriber 4,000 hour requirement. Then you get a community page. Yeah, so that's why yours aren't posting. I'm assuming. Do you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours? No, I never thought there would. No, I didn't, Gertie. I never thought there would. I mean, I never really planned on it, And even now, it's like, if people want to converse and, upload the videos, watch the videos I upload, I'm fine with it. But I've never promoted a channel. And another thing on top of it, I've had this happen before too, and that is that people are emailing me that they've been longtime subscribers and they've been unsubscribed. So I get a hold of YouTube through this chat thing. It's like, hey, I get emails from people that they're being unsubscribed, and they send me like a form letter saying that subscribers go up and down. This is part of YouTube. It's like, hey, I just got done telling you, this isn't that. This is people that got unsubscribed that didn't want to be. What don't you get about this? Quit sending me form letters. Then, the next day, I'll get something on, is there any help they can give me growing my channel? Yeah, there is. How about having the notices show up when I do something? Not dinging my videos for asking how these people got where they are, and not unsubscribing my subscribers. Why don't we start with that? And then I'll move on to the things that can do some good for me. It's so damn aggravating. You get bent over on Tuesday and they're asking you Wednesday how they can help. You're the ones that bent me over. Yeah, that's the problem, Amber. Yeah. No kidding, man. I mean, look, I got way more out of it. If they canceled my channel tomorrow, I still had it's a free platform. What can you say? It's, I know I say I'm not complaining, but I guess it sounds like complaining. And it's just like a marriage, a job, a neighbor. I formed expectations on what happened in the past. It was fun. It was free. People liked to watch him. We had a community. We talked about people. I delivered them things. And now the rug's getting pulled out from underneath me. And it isn't because of anything I did wrong. It was a change in policies. What are you going to do? It's frustrating. It'd be like getting married, having a great honeymoon, having a child of your life, and a year later your spouse says they want to get a sex change. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, this is a different world. It's been on my mind. Well, not really, John, because honestly, I always, even from the beginning, it was just a private channel uploading stuff of my own that interested me. Oh, okay, hey. Yeah, it's you're supposed to get some plaque or something if you get 100,000 subscribers. And believe me, I realized I probably don't deserve 100,000 subscribers. They realized that they were making money through my videos, so they promoted me. It wasn't anything I did. It's what they did. So I know this, right? So I didn't really care about the plaque. It's like, winning a scratch-off lottery ticket and then bragging to the local waitress how intelligent you are and you had this way of picking this numbers. And you just sound like a big douchebag talking shit, and you think that it's you that created the scratch-off while you won, and it's not. All you did was buy the ticket. It's kind of like something like that. But anyway, you're supposed to get this plaque. I never wanted it. And somebody said, are you going to get your $100,000? And it's like, nah, I'm not into that kind of stuff. But if you want it, I'll order it and I'll give it to you. I don't give a shit. You can have it. And I got about halfway through filling out all the bullshit. Just said, screw it. What they should do is if you get 100,000, just send the damn plaque in the mail. Don't make me jump through other hoops. So I just decided it was too much bullshit and skipped it. You can keep it. Yeah. So I don't really care about it. I didn't even want it anymore. But it's just another kind of like fly in the ointment of, it'd be like winning a race in a 100-yard dash and then having to write an essay on why you think you deserved it, even though you just got done winning. That kind of bullshit. I don't want it. You can keep it. No, I never said ever. I've never said like, subscribe, or share. It's just not my part of my shtick. God, I hate hearing that. But if you're let's say a young person, okay? You could be an old person too, and you want to have a successful channel and you want to build it, and the way of building it is going through all those firing hoops. I mean, the way you do that, and I just got lucky. I never had to do it, and I'm not selling out now. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Hey, Andrew Neil, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, I don't really kind of fault people for trying to promote a channel. Here's another thing that people don't understand. I mean, let's take for an example, YouTube said you've been a big asshole. We heard you on your chat the other day, bad-mouthing us, even though you set up a free platform. We think you're an ingrate and a jerk, and we're canceling your channel. It's like, okay, yeah, I would agree with you. It's probably true. I was just pissed off at the time. I was disappointed. Things have changed. So let's say they cancel my channel. And I get a letter from them a month later, and it's like, look, we're going to let you start over again, but don't bring that bullshit up. You got to use a different name. You can use the same videos. We got the same rules. You would never hear from me. I'll bet you if I had to start over again, that goes to show you it's them that create this success, not the individual, at least in my case. You would never hear from me. I would probably never get 100 subscribers, no matter what I did, because it wasn't my content. YouTube creates the traffic, not me. Let me give you an example. I don't know, what do I got? 5, 6, 8 viral videos. I had nothing to do with that either. So all of a sudden you go out, you're losing your ass, but you like it. It's kind of like a vacation for me. I'm not complaining. And you're paying people, not a lot, but I paid everybody I ever interviewed. I don't know anybody else that does that. Not that it's a lot of money, but it was like $500 the last time I went in Grand Rapids. It's just a stipend for a 5-minute interview. I don't think I'm a great guy for doing it. You know, you go out, you have expenses like that. And, you know, I wouldn't have thought that I was ever going to get paid, but now it's just like, jeez, it's just frustrating, I guess is all I can say. But you'll interview somebody, even the viral interviews that I had early on, they sat around for years and nobody watched them. Then YouTube got a hold of one, it went viral. Now you would think that if it was the subject that I interviewed that got a viral video, if that they liked the questions I asked, they liked the way they answered them, whatever, you would think that you'd still garner the same interest in a subsequent interview. But if you look, even though it's the same person under the same circumstances, the subsequent interviews never do as well as the viral interview. It isn't because the content's the same. It's because they didn't recommend the video. So like I tell people all the time, these channels out there like Angie, Sharon's, SG's are going nowhere. Because what ends up happening is, you know, there's a magic number early on whether YouTube decides to promote you or not. And yeah, you know, come from nowhere, you know, you don't have many friends, and all of a sudden you got 500 people that signed up for it, and you think, wow, this is really happening. Well, it isn't really happening. They all kind of hang around 1,000, like this kook in Detroit, Nitty. 500, maybe you'll get around 21, 2,200, sometimes 2,500. And along the way, at least now with these current standards, if it's talking about sex, drugs, and, you know, right-wing conservatives, you're screwed. And you're going to think to yourself, God, you know, I've got 1,000 subscribers. People are watching my videos and going to my chats, but I'm not making any money. You better believe you're not making any money. And you know what? You're never going to make any money, because they's identified you of exactly what they don't want. These computer algorithms have showed that you get a lot of complaints, a lot of thumbs down. You're a dead channel. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to improve that. No, there's no money in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah, but they don't know this. You know, it's like things are subtle, right? A marriage breaking apart, a relationship with a friend. You know, they can get better or they can get worse, and it's subtle. It's like the Pink Floyd song where you're 30 years got behind you or whatever they said. That's the guy that was getting high, skipping school, that's 65 years old, still throwing the frisbee out in front of the high school where he did 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. Things are subtle. YouTube's never going to call me and say, Tom, it's been great, but it's over. They're never going to contact Angie and say, hey, you're exactly what we're not looking for. You're not that bright. You're not particularly good looking. You're a troublemaker, a stalker, and a fraud. And You're going to get a couple little changes, a few more subscribers, a few less, a few videos are watched because you use somebody else's name in them that's a struggling addict, a person that you claim to support when you first started out. But this stuff is all pegged, as far as a business model, is bad news. You got all these channels out there showing you how to knit and rehab puppies and kittens and save the one-winged bird. You don't have any logical, rational business reason to support drugs, drug talk, prostitution, filthy language. Look, these are smart people running YouTube. And they know what works and what doesn't. And you can say to them, well, did you give everybody a voice? And they can say, sure, we did. Yeah, we did. Look at this. We've got one in Inkster. We've got one in Fort Worth, Texas. We got another kook in Flint. Yeah, they're free to talk about whatever they want. It's just we don't have to pay them, and we don't have to recommend them, which they don't do. It's over. So you can get a new microphone that looks like a donkey dick, and you can dye your hair and put on more makeup. But there's nothing you're going to do to change the success of your channel. It's over. You need to get to a psychiatrist ASAP because you've basically Peter principled out. It's over. Yeah, time, Jeff. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And to be honest with you, I mean, I see my stuff heading south too. My subscribers are dropping off and views, but that's all right. I'm going to keep on doing the same thing. Right now, I'm doing one right now. I'm going to upload this motherfucker proudly, even though maybe 100 or 200 people. Oh, here's another thing they want you to do too. That's why you know that these other, if you're just a regular Joe Blow and you haven't gotten lucky, you know, you don't have the expenses to go out and fuck around like I do. You know, so that's why you'll see channels where the light bulb comes on. That's why they want Cash App and PayPal and GoFundMe and all this stuff, because that's the only way you stand a chance of making the whole thing fly. The piece of pie is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. This is another one of my famous videos. I'll get shitty emails about this. Daisy, what are you doing? Yeah, YouTube's good and bad, mainly good. I mean, look at the fun we're having talking. And that wouldn't happen without YouTube, so it's just frustrating, you know? That's what I say, keep on keeping. Hey, Indigo, how you doing? But I just got a laugh to, and there's some other things that tick me off too. I think it's unfair that, particularly in someone like Maddie, like her or not, it's a disease and she's got a problem, and I don't think getting the whole community to hate her because she left her kids 8 years ago and somebody that got them, that can take care of them, that does a much better job, doesn't have them anymore. I think it's bullying, troublemaking, and stalking. And there's enough kooks out there to villainize Maddie over what this nut job says that could cause her harm. And I'm telling you, she will be liable for that if a plaintiff attorney ever gets a hold of it. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't think she can rub two dimes together. That kook's also going around telling people she's getting death threats because she talked about me being a serial killer with in-ring prostitutes. I mean, does anybody out there believe this? That someone would take the chance of getting in that kind of trouble to give this kook a death threat over me interviewing prostitutes that ended up dying? I mean, get real, will ya? Yeah, they're so stupid. I mean, I've been a licensed PI for 40 years. Everybody knows where I live, what I drive. I have a GPS-enabled cell phone, and that's all you can come up with, you kook? But it gives her a chance to put it in her title, and there's enough stalkers out there that hassle me to jump on the bandwagon and come up with fictitious, false allegations where there is absolutely zero merit to. Like I've said all along, these people have one major factor that doesn't apply, and that's called evidence. There isn't any anywhere. Yeah, and that's one thing that gets me. You get disappointed, you get mad, then you get a little pissed. So here they worry about me asking someone why they've been homeless for 30 years, but yet I get stalked, harassed, and my name's used 24/7, and they don't want to do a thing. That is the kind of shit that makes people go crazy. And if you look, I mean, like it or not, there's certain people that I say all the time, I never want them ever. I don't want to make comments on my video. I don't want to make up with you. I don't want you texting me. I don't want to talk to you on the phone. I don't want to come on your channel. Get lost. I want nothing to do with you. People that I don't like, I stay away from them. I don't drive by their house. I don't go on their channel to see what they're talking about. I'm happy to luckily not have anything to do with them. And these kook jobs that supposedly don't like me are constantly coming on listening to my video. Why would you do that? Get lost. Go away. Beat it. Hey, 80s baby. Oh, believe me, I have had some real kook. I think I do have this odd savant gift of attracting crazy people. Especially old, unattractive, miserable, stalking ladies. No kidding. I have no shortage of them. I'd like to blame it all on YouTube, but I've had it happen before. Have a good day, Cheryl. Walk over that bridge today. Look down there. Yeah, I mean, I got these, the people that you guys pretty much have figured it out. I don't want them around. I don't want them commenting. I don't want to debate anything with them. Nothing. And I give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I'd rather get along with people than not. Yeah, you're right about that, Interneil. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they'll run background checks on your... They sure will. Then they'll call them and harass them. Yeah, they sure will. I've had it happen. You too, Indigo. You have a good day today. Leaves are starting to turn here a little bit. No, you're right, me Candy. They sure will. Yep. And then what you'll get after that happens to you for a month, and everybody's been harassed, you'll go to fill out a report trying to explain to YouTube what's going on, and they'll tell you no matter what it is you say, you need more information. No, I know it. You look up Section 203, Meat Candy. Look up Section 203. That's about ready to change all that. Oh, cool, Brian. Well, I think I better get out of here. I'd like to sit here forever, but I want to do some more painting today. Turn off my famous video recording. Getting all this stuff taken out of this van. This heater, this propane, going to be one big flat space of a rubber mat. Getting rid of this back seat. Hi, hon. Be a dream vehicle for a high school kid. Hi, hon. What you doing, honey? You ready to go bye-bye? Walk your bye-byes? All right, yep. Walk your bye-byes. Yeah, it'd be a good place for that, yep. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have these curtains taken down, these fans, this cooling box, propane heater taken off, removing the rear seat. You know, I got that new fat tire bike. It's just, first of all, it's heavy. I'm just, you know, I keep thinking that I'm gonna do some PI work someday. I haven't done a PI case in about 8 years, and I have no intentions on doing one. I think I'm going to. I talk about it, but it never happens. You know, in Florida, I let my license lapse just to guarantee that I'd never get talked into going down there and doing some investigations. I've heard of people doing that with their cameras, so it guaranteed they'd never do another wedding. And I think I'm going to do that with my Michigan PI list. Because I still get calls from people, you know, wanting to do stuff. I just don't want to do PI work anymore. Sucks. Boring. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to be that far away from civilization. Breaks down, it breaks down. Takes up too much space. And besides, I never broke down like that in my whole life, so I'll take the odds on that. Look at this old blue car. That's true. That's a famous Maya Angelou comment. People think it's Toni Morrison. It's Maya Angelou that said that. It's true. People show you who they are. Well, that's what I try to tell Obels. I mean, these people. I mean, you guys are almost 50 years old. These guys, their lives speak volumes. They've never been successful at anything. All they can do is go to channels they know that don't want them and try and cause as much trouble as possible. That's not normal. I guarantee you YouTube figured out a long time ago that Nitty was nothing but trouble. He thinks that someday he's going to have a channel that's going to pay him something. Guarantee it. Give you 100 to 1 odds. Never happening. That's exactly what they don't want. At least if they can you'd have the luxury of knowing how they felt. But they don't. Yeah, they'll say, yeah, go ahead. Start a channel. Upload some videos. Yeah, it's up to you. You are your own boss, the captain of your own ship. And then they have somebody from Taiwan code in there. Do not recommend. Do not promote. And you sit there scratching your head for the next 10 years trying to figure out, well, how did this asshole Tom Reed get 185,000 subscribers and I've never got more than 600? That's how. even though they changed course, there was a time when they felt that those interviews were interesting to people, so they promoted them. Yours never were. They're never gonna be. A 55-year-old guy with his pants down around his ass, riding a bike, high, never working, racist, sexist jerk is not a part of any business plan. Never will be. Nobody wants their advertisement popping up in the middle of a 56-year-old man with a child's brain. Yeah, they don't. But the good news is I think it's a pretty cheap litmus test on who goes where and who interacts with these channels on a full-time basis. Who do you see over there all the time? And it's, it may be a reason to get sued if you're an employer. Stereotyping, but let's face it, there are certain stereotypes that fit like a glove. That's how they became about. And when somebody goes on a hate channel and says I'm a big jerk and they're never going to go there, it's working just like I like it to work. They're not over here because they're blocked. I want them over there. I never thought I'd see a day in my life where a car shut itself down at a stoplight and then started up again when you hit the accelerator. I mean, who designed these starters? I mean, these things, if you're in stop and go traffic, rush hour traffic your whole life, these starters can't be like going on, lasting forever. Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah. You don't need to. Yeah, it's just like that, John. It's just, they're so weird. I just don't get it. They have nothing to do, but like I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. I say, well, you say it a lot. I do, because I feel good every time I say it. That these people that we're talking about have never been successful at anything. A job, a relationship. They're in their 40s, 50s, going nowhere. Nobody wants to date them. No one wants to hire them. And that, I think, gets to these kooks after a while. And the only thing left for them to really get these endorphins moving, this dopamine, is to cause trouble. It's the only thing left that doesn't cost anything, that gives them a good feeling. They can just start as much trouble as they want, even though they're an adult, because there's nothing else left to do. Yeah, you'd be surprised though. I mean, I've uploaded videos before that I wasn't even going to upload that ended up getting 500,000 views. I still don't know. If you offered me $1,000 to do a viral video, I couldn't tell you what it would be. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I like doing it, so time or expense isn't an issue, but like sometimes I'll put together different clips and put music to it, and you take the time I did it, the time to put it together, the time to upload it, and a damn hot dog with relish and onions gets more views. There's no method to the madness in a way. It's so weird. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, obviously, a plane crashing, or a grizzly bear eating 9 parakeets for lunch that he pried out of a cage. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But for the most part, it's a mystery on what makes it and what doesn't. These gamer channels seem to be doing well. Who would think that someone will like get a really good channel by someone just watching them play games? That's a huge market. You can get a degree in that now in college. Here, my dad used to get my ass about skipping school to play pinball, and now people are making a living at it, more than he ever made, even while he was getting triple time, working overtime during Christmas at Ford Motor Company. No, it's no kidding, man. I mean, it's just nuts. I put my doors out today. I want to make sure that paint's good and dry because I got to paint the other side. I want a different color. These are my neighbors. These are the nicest guys. How you doing?
How you doing, Thomas?
Good. See, I got my doors drying. It's the neighbors, Daisy. Be nice, hon. No, you're right, hey pug. Yeah, I like pinball too. And I used to skip school to play it. I was the biggest school. I was the biggest delinquent ever. I promise you. All the way up until I was about 19. I mean, I don't know how they even taught me to read, to tell you the truth, considering how much I showed up for school. I got my high school transcripts. I'll dig them out someplace. I graduated from high school with a 1.62 grade point average. And to be honest with you, I wasn't even supposed to graduate because I flunked government, which was a requirement for graduation. But my mother was on the council of the town that I went to, and she talked to the guy and basically sold him on it was just going to be too embarrassing for her. So he gave me a D minus instead of an E, and I graduated. Good girl, hun. Good girl. Keep an eye on those people. I just got done painting those, hun. Good girl. I'm going to actually turn this van around the other way because she's going to want to sit in it. It's going to get too hot. Then I went to I wasn't, I always kind of wanted to go to college, but I knew I didn't. I still don't have it. I'm going to go to my grave, and I'm not much better of a student now. I'm not much better of a student now than I was then. I mean, things I like, but I've never been on an honor roll. Only thing I got perfect scores on were my flying tests, and that was part lucky because I didn't like studying for that either. Daisy guards me. You are guarding Dad, hun. That is good. Don't act like you don't know I'm talking to you, hun. Daisy, you listening, hun? You ignoring Dad, hun? Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, guys. I'm going to get back to my painting. I want to do the ceiling, one more coat. I want to paint the backside of one of these doors. And I got my shelves I want to paint today. I'm actually going to try and do something. Yeah, common sense, you're right. No, that can happen, yeah. Yeah, I look back on these all A people and honor roll people in my high school. They didn't do shit. Not that I did anything great either, but it isn't like they surpassed me. I'll go to my next high school reunion and say, hey, how many subscribers do you have, loser? That's it. Philip, what'd you do? Just grow up bilingual? Was like an English a required second language for you in school? I mean, that's pretty crazy how you get these people from like Switzerland, Germany, Austria. They speak better English than half the people I run into in the place I was born in. Cool. Hey, Frisky. All right, you guys have a good day today. Oh, wow, Interneil. No kidding, huh? Wow. Yeah, I'd like to, man. I'd do it. That's another thing how you evolve as an adult. You know, when we were young, we go down to really a different part of Detroit. Uh, Anderson's Gardens and the Willis Show Bar, those were all well-known horror houses. We'd go down there in 18, 19, 20. Worth every dime. It's a good experience. I think back on that now. There was a law there where in order for them to like get away with a bunch of women hanging around, you had to have entertainment. And there was these guys that would like play a jazz band. They had some good times there. But when you're young, you know, if you would have asked me at 18 or 19, would you ever have make friends with someone that did this? I'd say, hell no, no way. I don't want that. And then as you get older and you figure life out and you realize that there are parts of human beings that helped get them that way on a fast track, and you get to know them outside of that. So here I am now. I think I'm probably pretty good friends with 10 people that have or still are prostitutes. And honestly, as nuts as this sounds, it doesn't even enter my mind when I'm talking to them or interacting with them, and I don't hold it against them in any way or think less. It's so crazy how, you know, in this short time on Earth that I've went full circle on this. And it isn't because anybody tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, dumbass. It's just I figured it out on my own, and I see life in a different vein than I did without these 40 years experience behind me. I'm happy for it. You're probably right, Philip. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to have a good time painting. I'm tolerating it, but thank you just the same. All right, you guys, have a good day today. Good talking to you. Go tell YouTube I said the F word. Maybe they can take a few more bucks away. Yeah, it'll do it, hey Pug. Yeah. All right, take care, you guys. All right, Interneil, thank you. Bye, Brian. All right, hey Pug, take care.